Yep.
And he's there. He seems to be talking with somebody. He doesn't have a drink. Many of the ladies are sort of both taken aback, but apparently he has this sort of bad boy vibe around him. Right? There seems to be a gentleman beside him, even taller than he is. This guy's close to 6 feet, who seems to be just shadowing him wherever he goes. Some kind of bodyguard.
I have a question. How common is Hextor around here?
Hextor is a lawful deity, and therefore, normally followers of Hextor have a problem because they are clearly evil, as is the god of tyranny and conquest, right? The scourge of battle and all that, but they're also lawful. And therefore, it's one of the few evil religions that is actually tolerated because of this high martial prowess. Like, they follow the law, and as long as they pay their taxes and and don't break the rules. And yes, in Greyhawk there is in fact a religious tax because everybody has to pay.
I will eye him intently for a few moments, but so long as he doesn't try and do anything nefarious, I have no problem with him at the moment.
He notices you, looks at you, gives you this sort of scoff, like, and rolls on.
I ignore him completely because stronger men don't need to scoff.
Mm-hmm. And you can almost hear like the C in the bottom, XXX, Hextor, XXXX, it's like that's his call sign, like, I mean, this guy wouldn't be more edgy if he actually were wearing as opposed to having swords at his back.
How edgy is he? Holy crap.
Yeah. Sephiroth XXX, kind of edgy. And you keep walking, etc. Then somebody notices you.
Oh dear. Okay.
Not you, Braith, but I was talking to Hugh. In fact, the relatively small figures. She's taller than you, but not by much.
I'm also very short for a kobold.
And she is a halfling. It's like, oh, hi. Is that? And she points at your. Is that are you a follower of Lona?
I absolutely am.
Oh, how cute! I didn't know there were any of this scaly folk who follow the Lady of the Forest.
I'm the only one that I know.
You probably are, yes. And what brings you to this delightful gathering tonight?
I was invited because I was involved in the removal of the bandits to the south.
Oh, seems very important. Mm-hmm. Very important indeed. I usually come here because my sister can't be bothered, so I have to sort of help her out with these things. But I heard there's some thing that's going to be announced soon. Perhaps you might be involved in that. Are you involved in that?
Even if I am, I don't think I would know.
And she kind of looks at you like, that's a very interesting answer.
May I ask what your name is?
Oh, you may. My lady. I have a title, but it's not very important. You can call me Wyris. Right? Wyris Nibblehand at your service.
Wyris Nibblehand. Okay.
We should have more, shall we say, different people in these things. It's very dull with all these humans, and the dwarves are always getting drunk.
And yet all the adventuring parties is usually just a token human.
All these human lords, they think they know so much.
Once I learn more, I will know if I agree with you. But once people are a little bit more drunk and after the announcement, if it is suitable, then maybe we can socialize more and enjoy conversation.
Oh, I love to tweak it. Do you know how to dance?
I'm interested in trying.
Oh, wonderful. Who make all these sour pusses laugh? Out of nervousness.
What's the Okay, hold on before I say yes. Does dancing take like big muscles? What's dancing require?
Oh no, just agility and flexibility, my little guy. You'll do fine. And she punches you. You pinches your cheek. He's like, you'll do fine. But
Okay, I have some agility, so yes, I am interested.
and she kind of walks away and sort of pats you in the head. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. And people are looking like when you kind of look up and realize that there's literally a WTF thing like, what the hell was?
And I just give them a gentle nod, and then I just go to get some refreshments.
Brave again. You notice someone else is here near the and you know him because he used to be one of your commanding officers.
I will actually go up to him.
Saban Hemion. He's not in full armor, of course, but you do, recognize him from him. And he's standing by the steward.
Is he captain, general? What's his rank?
You do recognize that he has a badge of rank, a rank insignia, I should say, and it is in fact of the captain general. Back when you were, he was mostly like a lieutenant back in the day. So he has risen quite a bit in the couple of years that you served officially in the army.
I go to him and I say, okay, go ahead.
No, he's just standing there, having a conversation with someone. And there's a steward, there's him, and there's someone else you don't recognize.
Yes. When he's done with the conversation, I go up to him and I say, Captain General now. It's been a long time.
Oh, I said, live and breathe. Sergeant Bray. What's your last name? Sorry.
Rumar.
Sergeant Brumar. It's been a long time. And he sort of, gives you, presents his hand to shake.
I do the same. We do that scene from Predator where we just do like the arm wrestling match.
Yeah.
Great, you son of a bitch.
We were all saying it at the same time too.
Yeah. It's good to see a good soldier here. All these pansies with their fancy dresses and the hell they know about war and sacrifice. If they knew what we do every single day to keep their states free of the orcish menace. Much easier to build
The orcish menace is still pretty weak from what I've seen. The past couple of months, I've actually been out on the Outlands.
So what have you seen in the Outland? What have you seen out there? I've been mostly setting my troops around Safeton.
Well, not much. Goblins, bugbears, a couple of orcs here and there, but very weak holdings. Lots of bandits working with these other goblinoids, however. And some weird fae. You know how the fae are. One of them actually had me trapped for apparently over a year in a teleportation circle.
I'm not very knowledgeable of any of this magic stuff. I have to consult one of the battle mages to deal with this.
Yes, we may actually have need of more battle mages and some extra troops and supplies soon. I will keep you posted on that, though, Captain General, if you so choose to hear about it.
Good. Moving up in the world, I see, huh?
In some respects, yes, sir. Just out of curiosity, he outranks me, right?
Yes, you're a sergeant. You were a sergeant in the army. He is, he's the commander of the forces. At least in the South, yeah. The general. It's the aspect that is important there. So he's like, yes. Well, he seems to be like, you're just another warrior to him, and he's just talking to you in that manner, right? Like you clearly know that. He clearly know that he doesn't feel he's someone who is his reputation is someone who came from the ranks, right? He earned his place fighting the South and just serving the city, the domain of the domain of Greyhawk. And he doesn't have any time for this. He has to be here because it's clearly politics. Otherwise,
yeah,
he wouldn't be here.
I understand completely. In a weird way, I feel the same, but there's other things that call right now.
Mm-hmm. So after a while, are you giving the signal to begin, or excited, or are you gonna keep mingling with people?
I think I'm definitely going to go ahead and give the signal to begin.
Okay. So you go ahead.
Before that happens, I have a question if I could use a spell in an interesting way.
He's waving his left hand. He needs help.
So,
Spellcasting. The thing about spellcasting is that the guards are about to get nervous if somebody's about to spellcast.
okay,
That's
so in
okay.
that case, I would first go to the can't remember the position. The individual that we spoke to.
Stewart.
The steward.
Mhm.
I would approach the steward and I'd be like, I have something that I'm gonna ask if it would be dumb to do, but I think it will help me later on in the party.
What exactly are you thinking of?
There was a young halfling woman who, through some conversation, invited me to dance after the announcement, but I've never danced.
I see. Okay. See. If you need to, I don't know. There's a commode, and he points you to the 2 doors down. It's like you might go there and deal with whatever nervousness you have, and then come back.
No. So it's not that. When I'm normally tracking animals, I have a way of marking them to watch how they move. And it just requires my voice. I'm wondering, with your permission, if I could try to watch somebody dance.
Puts heads like that kind of language around these particular folk would not do. I would if you simply went to watch, just post yourself in one corner somewhere and observe. But I would not. I would counsel you against using any special tricks. You probably noticed you have attracted quite a bit of negative attention already.
Oh, absolutely! It's why I wanted to come and check with you before
I suggest. In fact, if you want anything special, you may ask the kitchens to give you something, and something that might be fitting of your diet, perhaps.
Oh no, the food's been fine. I've enjoyed. I just don't partake in beverages.
Oh, interesting choice. Very well, but I would have you refrain from casting any magics.
Absolutely. This is why I wanted to confirm, because it's not something that is harmful. So I just wanted to check.
Very well.
And then until the announcement is made, I'm going to watch people dance, trying to figure out how the hell to do it.
Yeah, basically, some people are dancing, but most of the people are just, mingling and talking, and
I think it's even down to like finding people who like actually move like they've been here before.
Yeah.
And watching the way that they just kind of also move through the crowd.
Yeah. Everybody seems to be this seems to be their natural habitat, basically. Well, put it that way. Yeah. So you signal to the steward, correct?
Yes, that's right.
That's old Kicks, right?
Yeah. You explain what you're gonna do. She accepts. It's like he sends for a scribe, and he calls forward. He also calls forward the heavily armored figure with his companion.
Mm-hmm.
The Hexor priest.
Hexor, yeah, the follower Hexor. And when he comes up and he basically looks up and down. Kicks like, and looks at the Castellan, mm-hmm. Like, may we have a word, sir?
Of course.
No, he's not talking to you. He's talking to the Castellan. He's talking to the steward.
Okay. Sorry, I thought that was.
Yeah, he looks you up and down like, what the? And
just think what the alternative would have been.
Well, I am surprising and fascinating. Thank you.
And the steward nods, and you see that his bodyguard, who was also human, basically steps between you and him, right? But he doesn't look you. Sort of like he basically got a body check you, right? That if you try to move around him, he will try to intercept you.
Right.
Yeah.
Kixon's response here is actually to simply hold his ground and not say, back up in surprise that suddenly the bodyguard interjects or something. That is his power move here.
Yeah. So basically, you're doing both of them. He doesn't move. He doesn't acknowledge your presence, but he's there to stop you from going to his. And they're having a conversation. It's kind of spirited conversation. Some people don't look like this is outrageous. This is the way it's going. I don't. This is.
Is it by chance? Is there by chance any way to do an insight on that conversation?
You have to get close, but you could do an insight. They're trying. I mean, they're speaking in loud whispers, right? So they're trying to keep it low, but clearly, this individual, who actually looks younger than the first time you saw him. Actually, he's probably in his late teens, probably no more than 20 years old. A bit too young for his edginess, I suppose, or perfectly matching his edginess, to be honest.
He's like one album away from My Chemical Romance.
Basically, he's probably gonna go outside and call the Black Parade, just to take him home, just carrying him home. That's gonna be his thing,
And that's a good song too, to be fair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just almost forgot that I can read lips.
Ah,
Hey.
I have the observant feat, so.
yeah, and you do it automatically. You don't have to, as long as you can see the target, if I remember correctly. You don't have to do a check.
If you
So
see
the
British
conversation
mouth
goes
while
something-
speaking, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you see them. Essentially, the Mr. Edgelord is gravely insulted. Like, he refers to Kix as this thing. I will not share the same space. This is a grave insult. In the name of my father, he would not have allowed such a thing, blah, blah, blah. And the steward is very, very, very calm, right? And he's like, well, sir, your father is gone. And there's a moment of silence.
well, that was done.
Oh man, what a way to break it to this guy. Oh, he was saving that for ammunition. This is brutal.
And you-
Zigzag's witnessing a takedown.
And as I recall, you came to us, to the Lord Mayor, to the oligarchy, to reclaim what you claim to be yours. May I remind you that your father established his keep in the borderlands without our permit. And he's like, and that's when you start seeing that, you're reading lips, his attitude is like, yeah, this is a young man, or almost like a little kid pretending to be an adult, right? He's like, but that's not to say that, and I have accepted everything that you have. I have very well. He does the thing with his nostrils, like we go angry, like we're gonna do this live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Right, that kind of attitude he has, like, and it's like, is there anything else, Lord Master? Everything is fine, sir. The quicker we deal with this matter, the better. Of course. And he turns away. You see the grin from ear to ear to the steward, because yes, he was waiting for a moment to take this little prick down, giving the verbal smackdown, right? And he's a casino. He actually is not a nobleman, but since he works for the mayor, and the mayor is the Lord Mayor of Greyhawk, well, he, politics gives him an edge, at least for now, anyway. At least here. Somewhere else, who knows? So he comes back, he stands, but again, he makes sure that his bodyguards between Kix and himself, like they had a physical space between the two of them. And there's a table, and so he asks for a clerk that gives him two scroll tubes, and they unroll them, and it's like, I think he reads them. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have a moment, please? And everybody turns around. I'd like to present to you two great servants of the domain of Greyhawk. My Lord Mastron, who has sought to reclaim lost lands of his family near the border with the Orcish Empire of the Pomarch, and has pledged himself to defend the domain from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the slayer of the Stag Lord, Gygax, the mighty shield of Nardwell. These two gentlemen have pledged themselves to the service of Greyhawk, and in return, they will be granted lands and titles befitting them. I present you the new barons of Greyhawk, Mastron and Gygax. And people do the thing. Some people applaud. Many people, they start applauding, but they kind of go like, "This is kind of weird," but we're gonna applaud anyway. Some people are more excited than others. Anybody can do an insight to check who is and who isn't applauding excitedly.
I will gladly do so.
Hey, 16.
I got
Side
19.
crew.
My insight is actually towards that the halfling specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is.
Oh God, I got a 6.
Yeah, no, you don't know what it is.
She's
so,
laughing. She must be happy.
So people who are being excited, I'm gonna try to show them to you, or at least being emphatic.
Mhm.
2 individuals. Let me make this window smaller so I don't take
Oh
us
man,
much.
this guy needs to get out and get some sun.
Yeah.
It could be a damn fear. You don't know.
Yeah, well,
I-
get some sun anyway.
I feel like he's looking into my soul.
Blink. Do it.
Let's see who. And one person, actually, that one person that ran that's Grolin. He's very excited as well.
Mhm.
But there's a third person you already saw. Let me see if she pops up again.
Was Malik positive or negative?
All of them have been positive.
Okay.
But there's one that is not quite as positive. And let's see if we can. You saw her earlier in the shop, at least. So she comes in. She's being more polite. Almost like that. Like she's kind of not even facing you. She's sort of kind of looking over her shoulder, like doing the thing, right? And there's some other people who, were applauding all that. But those are the people that seem to be more excited about, especially about Gygax being announced as a baron of Greyhawk, which is technically the lowest title of nobility they could grant you. Well, a knighthood, I suppose, being an esquire, but you wouldn't be able to rule a territory just being a knight.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
What's interesting though was their announcement that Lord Maestron here is a dual lord with me. That's very interesting. Is he going to explain that, or is it just like an assumed information here?
They basically saying that it's not the way you're given documents that with seals and all that and your titles. He has his own lands that he's going to be governing, if you will, right?
Okay, so different area, just at the same time. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. So nearby, he will be nearby. Although at no moment does the Mastrin look to you, and the sooner that he can get away from the party, right, he just leaves. Right.
He's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, followed by his headband, and so actually everybody can do a perception for me because this is very interesting.
18. Passive.
He
Anybody does that?
bomb on his way out.
15 or better.
11.
I passively see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Passive crew.
You guys and your sharp eyes. Let me get my glasses.
My
I
brand.
don't see it, but the general mood of the feel of the room is what I've been focusing on, not necessarily looking at specific people.
You think more people are more shocked that Gygax would have been selected, right? A non-human or non-elf or basically non-human. Actually, how rare Dragonborn are, right? Rare enough that they don't necessarily have a particular, shall we say, people don't have a take on them, right? They're just, it's a world that has a lot of magic, so
Yeah.
accepted at that level, but still, right? And you were invited, and you have spoken, well, so you haven't like growled at people or have anything like that. So you don't fit, any of the particulars. You're well dressed, well mannered.
Hey, Hugh, show us that trick where you just eat a rat whole. Here you go.
And the anybody who has 15 or higher noticed that a few other people sort of peel off and join Mastering's party. So he was always with his bodyguard, but these other people were interceding among the group. So he actually came up with about between 6 to 8 people. Very large party, right? So he didn't come alone, he was just relying on his bodyguard.
Does it seem like any of them are odd choices to leave with him?
I mean, they're odd in that you didn't actually notice them in the first place because they blended so well. Some of them, right? Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, I thought that was just a guy, right? And all of a sudden, when he leaves, they leave, and you notice that they change their sort of like demeanor, right? They go from, hey, I'm having a good time, to, okay, time to get to work.
Can I do a survival check to see if they move more like warriors versus...
That would be an insight check.
Okay. Because I have a suspicion of what they are. Never mind. I can't tell anything.
Yeah, you're basically overwhelmed with how many people are here, and you sort of move. It's like, oh, but by the time you're like, are they're gone.
Yeah.
They did the power walk outside, right? Lord Master thinks he's the star of his own movie, right? And he thinks that he's walking out, and the cape is billowing after him. It's like, but nobody else cares. So,
Except
you
for
have
those
the
people that
perspective.
left with him.
Yeah, true, but they're not there to actually, I mean, they are there to tell him how great he is. So,
Or they're just go back home now and plan the assault on Kix's new castle.
Wow, he's got the right idea. I should have a bunch of people telling me how great I am.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, no, he's got the right idea. Capes.
Wait, you're right too. I need a cape. Where's... Darn it, I knew I forgot something.
I think you're overthinking this here, Master Kix.
No, I'm obviously not. I need to have fancier outfits. But I have been presented to everyone now.
Oh,
Yeah,
now it is Master Kix.
Yeah, now it is Master Kix.
Lord.
Know your place, humans.
Lord, really.
Yeah. Your Grace, to be precise.
Isn't that a religious title?
No. That's also you. People who are, I think, Duke or below that are noble are called Your Grace.
That's right, y'all.
Which also includes, high.
That's right, y'all. You can below this Duke.
Yeah.
That no my clever humor.
Different people. Yep. The first one approaches, of course, is Ironheart. With the drink. He starts pressing mugs into your hands, like, here you go. I want to get this dandelion wine of. So that was a great announcement you had, didn't you? I suspected as much. You look like the types who know how to take care of things. Isn't that right?
Well, I appreciate that. First, toast to it then. It's time to celebrate.
It also pays, and he's he's supposed to be an ambassador, but he just sort of wipes his face like that. Obviously, like he doesn't care, right?
Of course.
It also pays to that old idea was an old acquaintance of mine back in the day.
It was the. Must be quite a story.
Oh, it was. It was including having to run out of a wedding party once. Our wedding party.
Hopefully it wasn't red.
It was good
That's
meat,
why
though.
they're in.
That's good meat, though. Well, eventually he married a good man, so it was all good. And I have a good wife at home. Emphasis on at home. So, I take it you will need some help, my boy.
You assume correctly. I'm not really one to go around begging people for handouts or money, but, well, I suppose now seems the time to maybe arrange alliances and formal relationships.
Well,
I guess.
that's a good idea. Let's see that I may know some masons, some good dwarven masons. I wouldn't want to, burden too much the Firebeards with all this work. I'm sure they want to cooperate, but I may know some masons, and maybe we'll do some good work for good coin, right? At cost, as it were.
Of course.
My Lord Prince Korant is an interest in anything that would push back the orcs and punish them for their crimes. So a good fortress on the other side of the frontier, putting pressure on these green bastards, might do us some good. After that, if it proves that you can survive the pressures put upon you, then some more help could come along. These things must be built slowly, you understand. Trust must be built.
Right. I'm not exactly expecting anyone to simply become my friend overnight, as it were, though I suspect we're going to get along fantastically.
Of course. And I have it's a bit embarrassing, but I do have a nephew who wants to cut his and his family has been keeping him back, you see, because he's 9th or 10th to the throne of the principality, etc. So they don't want to see little Tyke get hurt. I mean, he's a man, let's be honest. But you know how mothers and fathers are very fussy, especially nobility, about their precious children. I mean, he's nearly 125. Yeah, he's old enough. He's good with the axe, though.
But I suspect I can understand his feelings there. He's young and full of energy and wants to do something with it.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to, I don't know, give him the role, whatever it is that you do, and he, of course, will be, reporting to me anything that happens, and so he would be a good, but still human word. Yes. Liaison?
That would be right.
Yes. So if you were welcomed into your court, as that word, yes, that'll work fine for all of us.
Well, whatever the case may be, he and you and all of your kin are welcome in whatever home we may make over at the fort.
Oh, that's very generous. Ayo.
Second round.
Second round. Second verse, same as the first. Come on. And as you're talking, etc., you our kobold friend gets a little tap on the shoulder. It's like,
here we go.
Well, would you care to dance?
Yes.
Okay. Do a dexterity. Do a dexterity check.
He doesn't initially get up. His tail starts to wag a bit, and he's like, just 1 sec. Okay.
You try to do the 1 sec, and she just takes you and pulls you. She said excited, and she starts dancing with you. Do a dex check for me, please.
Okay.
If you have acrobatics, it would be great.
I don't.
Oh, just a plain dex check then.
It's why I tried to go with perception to look at people dancing to see if I could get some help.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you do very well. She starts leading you, but you sort of get into the music and you start leading her, and you're dancing up a storm. And in spite of people's amusement of seeing a kobold and a halfling lady dancing overrides their shock of there being a kobold dancing with a halfling on the dance floor, right? And they even make room because you're very energetic and you're swinging around and doing all kinds of things, doing moves that people are like, is that even possible with a tail?
They're just inventing new moves on the fly.
Yeah, with that 19, you're doing very well. And as you're dancing, she starts talking to you. Like, listen, I have a sister. I guess I mentioned that. Thank you. And she's a bit of a busybody, if you will. Always wanted to go to adventure and the like. And perhaps she could visit your new place that you're making down there in the south. Do you think you can convince your lord, I guess, of that?
I think it might be possible. What does she what type of things does she do in her adventures?
Well, the way I think she's a knight of some sort, and she likes to smack things with his very big sword. And once I saw the sword catch on light and smack a goblin in half, well, actually be cutting the goblin in half. I think she's very good at that. Likes to wear heavy armor, which is not very becoming of her, but you know. And that's it. And she follows the Lady May. Yeah.
Well, I think when we are done dancing, I will give you a proper introduction to the newly appointed Baron.
Wonderful. I might even go down there myself and visit. I've never been to the south.
Absolutely.
Never been to the south. Very
You
stuffy
are-
here in the city.
You are more than welcome.
Of course. So you're having drinks and stuff like that, and Kicks. In one moment, you're sort of going to, you're going somewhere else, and you bump into this individual, Lady Marissa.
Oh, Marissa. And she's one of the ones who was hanging out with Lord Mastrin, right?
No, she's the one that sort of was doing the half-turn applause thing.
Less than
right?
excited.
Yes, he says. So you're the one that killed my brother.
Your brother.
And when she says that, people around go like, "What the?"
Okay.
So-called Lord of Stags. He's dead, isn't he?
He is. That I can say.
About damn time.
Yeah,
That-
Kicks can't help but crack a smirk at that.
That moron did nothing but bring disgrace to my family, to Thrensko. That and alongside my father. I have to rebuild the pieces from what they did in Divers. I have to go back there and face the music again. You know where his body's at? You buried it or you left it for the crows?
I'm afraid it'd be hard to recover the body at this point. Quite a few many things happened, and I believe it may be in the Fey realms, in a place that no longer exists or could ever be reached ever again. To my understanding. It's
Well.
not something I entirely understand myself, I'll confess, but I think the chances are low.
Well, at least I give him proper burial, but if the devils have got him, then so be it. And then 9 hells feast on his heart for the 9,000 years that he serves. You have done the Terescu family a great favor. Unknowingly, but you have done so nonetheless. And we, and by we I mean me, we pay our debts. The time will come when I will have bearing payment for what you have done for me. Be ready. And I will not accept no for an answer. Good evening, sir.
I understand.
And-
Good evening.
And she just turns to one and just walks away, right?
Alright, Kix is just taking that at face value. No underlying anything here at all.
I pull Kicks to the side after that encounter sometime,
Mhm.
and I point to him. You've become quite popular in the past couple of minutes, Master Kicks.
I notice it's great. Everyone just recognizes how important I am. It's fantastic.
They're all going to try and curry favor. I would suggest you be on your guard.
And he looks over to his peace-bound sword, which is really just there for decoration right now, and he goes, "Well, I'll try." I'm just so excited, and just both hands on Wraith, shaking him.
And you see that beside you, you didn't notice that he was there and drinking from a long flute. The priest is right, you know?
Oh, well, and now who am I turning my head over to now?
A man staring at you with his dead eyes.
Oh gosh, it's Darius. Ah,
You he is slowly consuming your soul as he drinks from his glass.
I love that.
Oh, no.
I love that picture, by the way. It's
This
great.
man has seen things.
Yeah.
Also, throat tattoo. Didn't notice that.
Malik,
Sweet.
Darius Malik, at your service, sir. I think you have gathered quite a gut. You have become the center of this shindig here. That's very interesting. I find it very interesting myself. You might be the most interesting thing I've seen this season, and that's saying something.
Well, I'd have to say I'm not surprised that it was a little bit shocking with the announcement, both to everyone here and maybe to myself as well. But there will be a night for everyone to remember.
How
You're saying
curious.
that as there is a kobold dancing with a halfling on the floor.
Yeah,
and
just
doing
looking over to that. Yeah, I don't think I can forget that.
So, what takes a son of a dragon all the way to Narwhal and then up here to Greyhawk? I mean, killing a bandit lord is one thing, but really, what really happened down there?
What really happened down there?
Why do you wish to know, Master Malik?
Well, that's very, very insightful question, my dear priest.
Speaking of
Let
which,
us-
insight check as he talks.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go
Crit
ahead.
26.
Damn.
Yeah,
Seemingly-
he is being as insightful as you're being insightful, right? He's seeking for questions and he's very curious. Doesn't seem threatening at this moment, right? But he's very much playing the room and even trying to play you too, right? He's playing the game, right? He's playing the political game, etc. And you can see right through that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I represent certain parties that are interested in the goings on in the borderlands. Parties that do not specifically reside within the borders of Greyhawk or the walls therein.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does it, he sort of taps his ear. I think with his ears, like I notice that he has pointed ears, so he's half elven.
I thought it was hitting his earpiece.
No.
Secret Service, come in.
And so, perhaps, if you are amenable to receive certain ambassadors in the near future, we might establish some friendly coordination for future endeavors.
I suppose it's the invite everyone is making these days, and I've never known myself to reject a guest, but
Now, I cannot promise golden coin. I do know that Ironheads can promise more than that if you press them. If you impress them, I should say. But by myself, I'm not in a position to order that. At least not yet. Although I do believe that you might be getting some revenue soon.
so I've heard. I'll
Yes,
have to wait to see it, of course.
That might help. And if I do have any resources I could put your way, that might work as well. But again, like Aaron had said, you have to build trust. I will pass in on this warning. The little man-child that stormed away, he is quite dangerous. We
He
have had
looks the part.
we had dealings with his father before, decades ago. And let's say that he was very headstrong. He is a champion of his dark deity as his father before him. But there's a difference between Hexor, yes.
Yes.
There's a difference between earning a position and one that is granted to you by birth. It tends to spoil the child.
And Kix just sort of smirks at that. Well, I suppose we had a first-hand demonstration today.
Yes.
That also means it makes him more dangerous.
Very much so. Your servant.
But I've been hearing the phrase you said earlier quite a bit today, to build trust, and that'll take some time. That I can understand. I guess in the interest of that, though, maybe let me build a little bit of trust with you. Let me answer your question from earlier. You were asked why. I suppose the answer is that it seems that the orcs are ever on the move.
True. But they could just send soldiers down there. Why you in particular?
Hmm.
What
I
have
mean
you?
particular
What
need.
have? what have you done that caught the eye of the directing oligarchy? Because Mastrin, he's playing politics and paying quite a bit of moving coin about. And he's trying to do that for years now, since he's lost his father. His goblins took over his hold and tarnished his reputation. They put the old man to the sword, and he has never forgotten.
Hmm. I can tell you right now, there were no machinations on my own end. I've never had a single bit of coin, and well, I've simply never even been to the city before. I've always been a native of Narwhal. It's always been my home. And anytime there's any sort of challenge to it, it's my goal to stand up to it. It's what a hero would do. That's why I would do it. What, even if I was asked or not.
Those are very impressive words that answered nothing.
Ah,
You might be more able at this game than I thought, even if by accident.
well, maybe if you get Jacob over there drunk enough, maybe he'll spill it. Other than that, it's locked within his own mind why I've been chosen.
I can understand that. You keep good company, amusing company, and he looks over where Kobold and the halfling are dancing.
Indeed,
Amusing
I
indeed.
couldn't be happier with them.
And he sort of he bows to you. He bows to everybody, and it's like actually bows to Sig.
Zig.
There you go.
I expect that we could see great things from you in the present and future. Great inventions and great machinations.
That's what I do. That's what I'm known for.
Indeed. You're a long way from home, my friend.
Yes, that is true. I don't know what else to say to that. It's just true.
It's all right, Zig. You've been doing excellent work down in Narwhal. And I think everyone, even including the Firebeards, would attest to that.
Take a deep drink. City named after a fish.
You've clearly never been to the city of boat murder, Journeyman Zig or Journeyman Zag.
Well, I taken too much of your time. I
Ah,
see.
You zigged when you should have zagged.
I did.
I see the lady over there. She's calling for me. She always wants to say some collab or something. I could be back if you require any of me. If you have a more insightful answer for me in the future, I'm all literally.
Of course.
And he walks away. So there's some of the people. Some people actually, after a while, they congratulate you, etc. But yeah, those seem to be the folks that caught your attention there, and
Was anybody panhandling for money?
not inside, not inside the party itself. They wouldn't be allowed.
That'll be outside then later tonight.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess like the servants going about are asking for tips. Maybe that counts.
So I think once the sort of queue isn't filled with people who are as serious conversation,
Mhm.
that is when the dancing would stop and he would offer out his elbow to walk up the lady and be like,
Yeah.
that was fun. I like dancing.
Oh, we should do more of it. You're a great dancer.
Agreed. Thank you. But Lady Nimblehand, I would like to introduce you to our newest Baron, Kix.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
At your service.
I see you've already made friends with Hugh over here.
Oh, he's so delightful dancer. He sort of pats him on top of the head. It's like, I should bring him to my cousin's wedding. He would cut a rug like no one's business. It would make my aunt faint right away of shock, which would be amazing.
All right, it seems almost the entire point of it. But I suppose there's a wedding every week in a halfling family.
There is. We're very prodigious that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, there's a christening every other week.
I suppose then, what brings you to such
He
a
looks
wonderful
you
party?
up and down like, you got that one for free.
Ah.
I'm sorry, I could not help myself.
I noticed.
Uh,
Oh, yes. You were going to. Yeah, I was.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
yes. A little friend here, Q,
Mhm.
who is a follower of Lona, as well know. I was talking to him, and I said I have a sister, a halfling sister. Just so we don't, talk about actual bloodlines. And
Oh, so an
she
arranged
is
marriage then.
not quite. I would not pretend to speak for her, only because she would get very, very mad at me and try to cut me in half. And I like my halves as they are together in one.
Mhm.
So, she is a champion. She calls herself a champion of Mahahan. Anybody who has religion can roll religion.
What?
Anybody who's trained on religion.
That would be me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
only got history.
Nope.
Ah. First of all, the deity she's talking about is a human deity, not a halfling deity, which is interesting. But it's not unheard of for for individuals to place themselves to different deities that may not necessarily be of their own pantheon. So Mayaheen is known as the Shield Maiden, demigod of protection, justice, and valor. She is a champion that works under Palor, and her creed goes something like this: protect those who need it, for good to survive is necessary to defend the weak and innocent. Bravery, strength of mind, and perseverance in times of hardship or danger are virtues, and adherence to the concept of justice, fairness, and righteousness are essential. And they basically are sort of a group of church within the church, like an order within the Church of Palor, who is a deity, a human deity of sunlight and
Right. I
and
think like the
healing.
usual word would be like a cult or something, but of course that's like changed over time.
Not
Would
a
it be a
cult. It would be a
sect?
sect.
Except, yeah.
Yeah. Sect also
Um,
works.
Or heterodoxy.
That works too.
If
Yeah.
you want to
So,
be fancy.
And
and
you do.
she says, she's always looking for adventure, something to do, and something to champion. And I said, well, I have rumors that this was going to happen, but I was afraid that the only person who was going to get a title was going to be that loud master. Certainly was going to not pair him and pair my lovely sister with him.
Oh, do you think they wouldn't get along? Just look at him over there. He's just positively the light of the party right now.
I think that she would like to cut him at the knees, literally. But perhaps if she were to find a home among your people and be able to profess her beliefs and champion her cause, you might end up a strong ally at your side.
Insight to see if she's telling the truth on all this.
Yeah, she seems to be sincere. At least she believes so.
Braith, you
Well-
are so. Every person who talks. Insight.
I mean, it's what he's got to do.
I know. It's
although-
like he's been around nobles before.
There seems to be, how can I say, there's a note of doubt in her voice.
Mhm.
Like she's hoping this is gonna work rather than she's sure it's gonna work, right?
Oh,
She's hoping that
she's trying to get her sister out of the house.
I say to her that you said the deity, but I honestly forgot what the name of it was already.
Mayaheen.
I say to her, Mayaheen. I'm assuming Mayaheen is a friend of Cord, or at least adjacent to.
Well, the deities in meta terms, she's lawful good. Cord is chaotic good. So
Yeah.
they're not enemies because they're good. But while Cord is all about individual strength and proving yourself, she's more about protecting others, training others to protect themselves, etc. They're not really at odds. They could coexist, but it will be dependent more on the personality of the individuals rather than any, belief system per se. There's nothing really that contradicts each other, other than Cord would want people to gain strength for themselves and stand up for themselves. She is more like some people are weak and they need to be protected. Right.
I would actually then say to her, you the friend. I actually gotta give me a minute. I gotta gather my thoughts. Keep going.
That's okay. So if you would accept, I would point her in the right direction, and she would join you at some time whenever she was able to.
Well, if there was ever a time and a place for someone to strike out to adventure, I suppose out on the border with us would be exactly the place.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to Lady Madam Nibblehand. Madam Nibblehand, your sister would probably be most welcome within our walls.
And I might be able to, as my family is a large clan that trades all over the near dive region, maybe send some gold with her to make sure that she's not a burden to newfound barony.
Oh, of course, of course. She'll need to pay her way, of course.
Of course.
Subtle wink, subtle wink.
Yes. So maybe we can make a contribution.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I get the feeling we're getting like a very naive freeloader?
Well, what we're getting right now is like a roster. We're gonna build our fantasy football team here in a second.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget all the people in Norwell who we can choose and we can trust, but will give us absolutely nothing.
This is very much the case where like this is our like first year team in one of those games where you just keep on adding better members to your roster.
It's like, well, I got all the high school students. I guess I'll add them to the team.
Conversely, this could be the meat grinder.
They all like die eventually or something.
Oh gosh, that'd be even more hilarious.
You throw them out there, and the survivors get to be heroes, and the ones that
Send
died.
us another member of your family and more money, and we'll send them out next. We're giving the quest now.
We have a whole notice board for you.
Well, it's called a meat grinder for a reason.
So basically, the party went down, and this is the part where we take a moment to talk meta.
All right.
Some real hard questions
To remember those that have fallen.
Yeah. Because here's the idea, and I think most of you sort of picked up on this, but now that we've done the sort of role playing aspect, we're going to talk about the meta. There's a little book I picked up about 2 years ago called Strongholds and Followers. Which has
I watched
rules.
the guy who made that.
Yes.
I know that book. It's a good book.
I'm waiting for the release of the next book, which is Kingdoms and Warfare, but that is probably going to come out later this year, probably in the summer. And I'll snatch it up as soon as it comes up. But the idea is that you will be building your own kingdom, right, your own barony, based on the ruins, or you can build it someone else because you'll have, surrounding areas, at least one hex surrounding the main hex with the old fort was.
Yeah.
And the offers are, the dwarven offer basically is we can help you build whatever it is cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And with dwarven quality, and they may offer some other things as you build it. So the offer made by Merrick, since you didn't really tell him how it happened, he's basically just going to send people to talk to you at some point and go from there, like a delegation, as it were. What the halfling noble is offering is money. I think about 2,000 gold, and her sister as a follower, using the follower rules from Strongholds and Followers, which basically means you can give her a job, right, to do something, or send her out to do side quests, automatically, like, kind of like the war table and Inquisition, right? You're like, okay, here are some troops, and you do that, and
yeah, you're cool, you're high level, take these low level people and don't let them die.
It's amazing how often Inquisition comes up, and I have not played the fucking game.
You should. It's actually a good game.
I'm in the Dragon.
New thing on the channel. We're stopping the game. We're playing Dragon Age Inquisition.
I'm in the Dragon Age game too, and I'm playing a character who's apparently based off somebody from Inquisition. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
If we do that, we have to take turns making decisions.
Yeah. And what was the other?
And it'd also take the rest of the year to finish.
God, y'all are joking, but I'd be down.
They're actually pretty good. And what else? I think that's all the offers I made. Yeah, so far. Also, the Greyhawk will also give you seed money, which is about 5,000 gold. So between that will be 7,000 gold. But the prices for building keeps are pretty expensive. Like a full castle, I think, goes all the way to 50,000.
Conversely, though, that was given to you by the court jester, who says specifically you can only use it to buy actual seeds.
So whatever else you do, the mine will also generate some money, and we'll look at how much money it realizes. There'll be, here's the thing. I do have some, and I'm going to say this up front so you guys can decide whether you want to do it or not. There's a couple of things that can happen in Greyhawk City, including the tournament that I mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. For you to raise money. And that would be it. And then once you're done with Greyhawk itself, and you can go back home and back again, and whatever you want to do, there will be a time skip.